Kulandireni kulikonse kumene mukutionera madzulo ano. Ndine Brian Banda ndi programu inanso sabata ino ya Times Exclusive. Nthawi yofunika kwambiri imene timabwera pano ndi anthu osiyanasiyana kuti atifotokozere kuti kunjaku zikuyenda bwanji. Akutipatsira programu iyi madzulo ano ndi Rainbow Paints.
Wow, I think K-Pitch looks amazing on the door.
The electric blue cuts it for me.
Come on, look at the tango, candy pink, burnt orange, okay, sweet lime.
Do you like what you see? You can dream it and live it. Download your Rainbow app today and begin the magic of transforming your home into a fabulous space. Rainbow Paints. Peace of mind. Part of the deal.
Mwenendo wanga mprogramu hii ndi olemekezeka bambo Kamuzu Chibambo, President wa People's Transformation Party, Petra. Ti kulandireni olemekezeka madzulo ano.
Zikomo kwambiri Brian.
Chipani chanu cha Petra chili mmodzi mwa zipani 9 zimene zili mu mgwirizano wa tonse. Choyamba tifotokozereni muli mgwirizano ndi chipani cha MCP kapena ndi chipani cha UTM ndiye mudapitira limodzi ku alliance kapena muli tifotokozereni, because we hear kuti there are different connections in as far as the tonse government is concerned. Inu mudapita ndani ku tonse?
Ife tinapita through MCP.
Okay.
Dimene tinajoina alliance imene ndipo zimene zinachitika somewhere in, I think after the March, no, it was before March, I think it was somewhere in March.
Okay.
March 2020.
Chifukwa chani munaganiza kuti mukhale nawo mu mgwirizano umenewo, especially with Malawi Congress Party?
Ife choyamba tinaona kuti tinafuna kuti tikayankhe funso kapena chokhumba cha Malawi ankanena kuti afuna kuti zipani zibwere pamodzi. Ndipo monga tikudziwa kuti pali mawu oti amati mumodzi muli mphamvu. Nde ife poona kuti Malawi akufuna kuti zipani zibwere pamodzi nakuti kuti nchofunikira tikayankhe chikhumbokhumbo cha Malawi. Chifukwa zilipo zimene amalinga Malawiwo kumaona patsogolo kuti inu zipani mtabwera pamodzi ndiye kuti pali zinthu zina zimene zikhoza kutheka nthawi imeneyi kuti tikukonzekera chisankho cha 2020 cha president.
So poyankha funso langa linalo, zipani zina zili mgwirizano ndi zipani zina then munayendera limodzi kupita ku tonse?
Zipani of course tikumbukirenso kuti 2019 kunali zisankho.
Yeah.
Ndipo panalinso migwirizano memba. Sono mmene chisankho cha 2019 mmene makhoti nanena kuti chisankho chimenechi sichinayende bwino. Pakalenso chisankho china pamene sono zipani ndimene zinali ma configurations zake aja zinatengananso panopo tati tipange grand coalition.
Okay.
Kupeza kuti pali zipani 9 zimene zinabwera pamodzi. Yeah.
Do you have any regrets 2 years down the line ngati Petra mgwirizano kuyenda bwino?
Choyamba nene kuti ife ngati a Petra ndife osangalala kwambiri kuti tinabwera pamodzi ndikumenya campaign ndikuwina chisankho cha 2020 ndipo ndine osangalala kuti zimene zija zinatheka. Tikangana time ineyi kuti mavuto amene anali Malawi anali mavuto ambiri. zokhumudwitsa zinali zambiri. Amalawi amalira, Amalawi amafuna zosiyana-siyana, Amalawi amaona kuti utsogoleri wa dziko sumayenda bwino. Ndipo anafunitsitsa kuti pabwere utsogoleri wina. Ndipo if we are very happy that we participated in that exercise. You may recall that we were on the campaign trail from Nsanje to Chitipa using our own resources also. Okay, that is important also to say it. We're using our own resources as a party supporting that campaign. And so with the outcome of that 2020 election, I don't have any regrets whatsoever. We do not have any regrets whatsoever. Of course, mkandifunza kuti kodi zonse zikuenda bwino. Ndikati zonse zikuenda bwino ndi kunama.
Yeah.
Chifukwa Amalawi tiphunzire kulankhula zona. Tikalankhula zona, tikhoza kukonza zolakwika zona.
That's right. And that's why we have invited you.
Yes.
Tikanadziwa kuti simulankhula zona, sitikadabwitana.
Azikomukwata.
Ndiye mulankhule zona muno.
Ndiye amikenso kwa inu kuti madziwa kuti ndiye serako kulankhula zona. So mukandifunsa mafunso kuti ndine osangalala zonse iyayi. Pali zina zaenda bwino, zina sizinaende bwino. Ndipo apresidents nawonso akhala kuvomereza nkhani imeneyi. Ndipo ndi bwino kuti tizikhala ndi courage kunena kuti isina achite bwino. Nanga tipange bwanji kuti zinthu izi.
So funso langa lina kuti Zota Alliance munapanga munawina, you are very happy.
Very happy.
But my question is not that. My question is 2 years down the line, are you happy with the road that you have taken ngati tonse government? Yes or no?
I think Brian.
Yes or no?
Ndinafuna kuti ndipereke kaye background.
Yes.
Chafuka ngoti kuti 2 years down the line, are you happy or not happy? Nafuna first of all, Amalawi ndatenge bwino kuchokera ku. Pamene people.
That's right.
Ndanena kuti there are certain things the alliance tapanga bwino, koma zinthu zina sizinaende bwino yayi. Ndipo a president nawonso akhala kuvomereza. Sinkhaniso yobisanso yayi. Unena kuti ineso zinthu zina sindusangala naso yayi. Monga mwachisanso. Panopo tikoza kulankhula kuti tikukamba pano. Nkhani ya fetereza amene fetereza wakwera Amalawi muno. Ningasangalale? Singasangalale yayi. Tikayangana nkhani ya Malawi kwacha amene yakwera pakatipa. Chapompa nopa 25%. Am I happy? I'm not happy. Okay? So tikayangana zinthu kati zimenezi, zima corruption, I'm not happy. Ineyo mene tinkajoina alliance imeneyi. Cholinga chathu nchakuti timene mbali yathu tithandize utsogoleri umene ulipo kuti dziko la Malawi lipite chitsogolo. Chifukwa dziko la Malawi likapita chitsogolo, Amalawi asangalala. Ndiye utsogoleri ngofuna kuti uziyang'ana mavuto amene akukumana nawo anthu amene anakusankhacha. Kodi anthu amenewa akumana mavuto anji? Nanga ndingapange bwanji kuti mavuto amenewa athe ngati singathe kuthetsa onse nthawi imodzi. Nanga bwanji kapena kuti tingatepetse bwanji kuti Amalawi amve kukoma.
So you're not happy kuti anthu akunena kuti tonse government ndi boma la Katangale?
Chimene I'm not happy about certain things have not gone well. We could have done better.
Yeah, you mentioned about Katangale.
Yes.
Okay.
We could have.
So I wanted us to zero in on Katangale. What has gone wrong?
We could have done better.
Yeah.
Because I mean, according to the perceptions that are there now, they say that
perceptions.
Yes, perceptions.
It's not the truth.
And those perceptions could be true.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That in the assessment, corruption has worsened in Malawi. I think there was an Afro
under Tonse government.
Okay.
Under your government.
The
Tonse government.
That is
which your party belongs.
Oh, sure. Yes.
Yes.
Do
you feel embarrassed when you hear that?
I cannot be happy. I cannot be happy at all. Because personally, I hate corruption. I've been in business since 1995. We have not engaged in any corrupt practices whatsoever. And I hate corruption because corruption punishes the innocent. Corruption deprives the innocent. Corruption punishes the innocent Malawian. So as a citizen of this country, as a person who was born here, brought up here, educated here, from a primary school, secondary school, university, I cannot be happy. I want a better Malawi. And that's the biggest cry of my cry.
You wanted a better Malawi.
And I still want it today.
Okay.
Yes.
So what has gone wrong? It looks like there is nothing much being done in the fight against corruption. Kubomala noli la tonse limene ino muli komweko.
Yes, I think
Zavuta party.
Ziko.
Kamuzu Chibambo.
Ziko. I think it has been said that when it comes to budget allocation, the Chakwera administration, President has done better in terms of increasing budget allocation to ACB, which is a positive. That's something that we ought to acknowledge. Because without these resources, you have basically bound the feet of ACB. They can't move. They may have very bright ideas, they may have this suggestion, they may have all kinds of initiatives, but if you cannot resource them accordingly, it means that you have placed them on fetters. They can't achieve anything. So, in terms of funding, I think the administration, as I said, we do well to acknowledge the fact that the administration has done better, all right? So, that is a positive.
What is the negative?
Well, the negative is the fact that the statistics of corruption are not positive. They have increased, and that should be the concern of every right-thinking Malawian. Every citizen who loves this country must be deeply worried to say, why are we losing the fight against corruption? Because corruption is very, very dangerous, and it has got very ravaging effects. As I said, corruption hits the most the ordinary person. And let's remember that it is this ordinary citizen that employs the state president, employs the vice president, that employs members of parliament, that employs councillors. It is the ordinary citizen. So it is the ordinary citizen that must be respected more in a democracy.
Yeah, so do you think that the Tonse government is respecting the ordinary citizen?
I suppose the fact that there are certain initiatives, certain measures that have been taken, which would say, yes, there is that recognition. For instance, the issue of funding. Okay? And of course, the president has also said
Yeah,
that.
but I want to dwell much on the perception you talked about.
Yeah. Let me continue.
Yeah.
The president has time and again spoken about the support that he places behind the SEB, wanting to see to it that the SEB does its job without any impediment. So these are positives that we need, that we can draw from what the current administration is doing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how do we deal with the negatives?
Well, we need to continue to fight passionately
Yeah.
against corruption, because, as I said, corruption impedes development. Corruption exacts violence upon the innocent Malawian. Corruption flees. Corruption chases away development. Nobody wants to invest in a country that is fraught with corruption. So corruption is a big and a real enemy that all of us must fight against. And it's not something that we cannot win. We can win this with this war. I know it. It begins with me. It begins with you. There are some people in this nation, they will talk about fight against corruption, but you find that privately, they are in the forefront perpetuating corruption. Some people do that.
Okay. Do you have anyone in mind?
I don't have, but
But you can come on a national television.
Of course, yes.
Tell us that there are some people
Of
who
course,
speak
yes.
high against corruption.
Well, of course, yes.
But privately they are supporting corruption.
They do. And it is
Do you know anyone?
And it is
Do you know
not-
anyone
and
who
it
is doing that?
And it is not just in public life,
Yeah.
but even privately. People do that. I'm talking about people in private sector. They do these things. So we have got a big problem.
Okay.
And it's a war that we cannot deal with kid gloves. We must fight this war and fight it to win it.
Inuyo ndinu member wa Tonse government. When was the last time you met as a team under Tonse ban?
The truth of the matter is that the last time we met was on 17 June 2021 in Mangochi.
And what does that tell us?
Well, I don't know, Brian. As somebody who was tasked with certain responsibilities within the Tonse Alliance, my job is always to liaise with the president as to when these meetings can take place. And once a date is agreed, we agree upon an agenda. I circulate the agenda amongst the partners. And then I go to those meetings, I jot down notes, and sometimes I'm given other responsibilities during those meetings. So my responsibility only goes as far as reminding the president to say, okay, fine, Mr. President, I think now, you see, because initially what I agreed would be meeting every 2 months.
You agreed that
Yeah,
you were meeting every 2 months.
We're meeting every 2 months, okay?
And what has gone wrong that you're not meeting every 2 months?
Well, I think I don't know exactly why we're not meeting.
You don't know yet you are a partner in this government.
Well, I don't want to tell lies.
Okay.
I don't want to tell lies. I don't believe in lies.
Okay.
All right.
So you don't know.
I don't know. All right. But there are certain things that have happened also.
Like what?
In the meanwhile.
Like what?
The president has assumed that additional responsibilities. He assumed, in September last year, the SADC chairmanship, and then he also assumed chairmanship of the least developed nations or countries.
No, that was what was there before he even became president, because the chairman, we got it under Peter Mutharika when he was president.
So he continued.
Yeah, he just continued because he's the one who is in office.
Yeah, but I think we started hearing about it. I think, of course, I think.
We have always heard about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the SADC chairmanship, that is an added responsibility, and of course, I think things also that have happened.
Is all well in the alliance?
I would like to believe all is well.
You would like to believe,
but we can do better. We can do better because of the problems the nation is suffering from and is encountering. We can do better, and I'm hoping things can improve.
Where do you think you can do better?
In terms of how we deal with issues of, how we manage our meetings, in terms of the frequency of those meetings, the frequency of holding those. Because those meetings.
You are running you are running a government under Tonse banner, and yet it's almost a year now. You're not meeting.
Well,
so where do we get a sense of direction in as far as the Tonse government is concerned?
No,
when you leaders simugumana.
I said monga ndana kuti ndichiyembekeza kuti president aitanisa nsonkhano umenewo.
Yeah, but the last time you met was
yes.
August 2021.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, not June, not August, but it was in June.
June 2021.
Yes. Sure.
And this is June, almost a year now.
Yeah, sure, yes. It is June, and he is aware, all of us are aware, so. Yeah, so nobody kapena fusulibeni amina kwazo kanka bino da president
ikona ngasino ndaro kusankhana kuti ndamene mutira nitsama meeting
we did it working in terms of the coordination.
Yeah, ndiye mumakumbutsa a president yokuti komatu ujeni 2 months yata tukumane ndipo mukauza amatichiyani za meeting amene.
So Brian ndani nagari kuti ine mbali yanga ndaisesa kupanga it but ngata president akadzaona kuti panopo tikhoza kukumana atiuza ndipona nonso dziko la Malawi tiliuzanso kuti panopo tukakumana.
Ndifo solanga ndinakufunsana kuti koma zonse zili bwinobwino kutosa alliance iku kapena ukhanga ti bandi yagawana zida.
so mthandoza chani kuti
ihandofusa because if you cannot meet for a year it tells us kuti kuli mavuto.
Well, I mean, in the sense, kuti, well, I think, yes, I can say, kuti...
Kuli mavuto?
Yeah, chimene
okay. Please proceed.
Ndafotokoza kuti pali zinthu zina zimene singathe kudziwa. Number one, ine sindili mboma as such, kuti I don't have any position in government ngati mwete. All right, so singati nizambiri. Chifukwa malo okhawa amene takhala ndikhoza kupereka kwa maganizo anga is through meetings amene takhala ndikupanga cha of leaders. So panopo I'm really in the dark. I don't know. I'll be very frank with you. I don't know. But you can tell, maybe these are questions you can pose to the principal and the vice to say, kodi zinthu zikwende bwanji
ku mene amakasainira mgwirizano wa tonse uja kulilongwe munali yani mene muja.
Yeah, so no mafunso msamani funse mafunso ambili azimezi jaya chukwa aineyo sina basidu udindo kuti ndibwere kunonzera kuliza tonse yayi. Okay, so afikoma nafuna kuti ndingo munikirapo patali pimene zinthu zilili koma mkandifunsa now my deeper details and kuti muona kuti mafunso ndikukanika choti one
koma Petra in mbali ya ndokufusa ninyo ngati president wa Petra.
Yes.
Yeah, so this question is not going to Tonse government. It's going to Honorable Kamuzu Chibambo amene chipani chawo chili mbali ya Tonse. Mwina let me go a step further. Kuti mgwirizano munagwirizana kuti chani mudzienda bwanji mutosemo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mkumbukira president ananena vice president ananena kuti I think akupita ku America ananena kuti masiku ali nkutsawo amalawi tizamuunikira kodi mugwirizana mulizora ndimwina tiyembekeze kuti atiuze bwino
yeah ine msuno wankula za vice president
koma think
yankula za Kamuzu Chibambo chipani chanu chili mgwirizano umene.
Yes.
Kodi mugwirizano inuyo ngati chipani cha Petra munagwirizana chani?
Yeah, so pano nkhani imene ndisayikambe panopo yayi. Chifukwa as I said kuti ndikapanga zimene zipanopo ndikuti I would be overstepping my authority. I don't want to talk much about Zilinkatimu, but a vice president, he gave us a lead. Utia, amarawi. Zimene za kumukala mufuna uti mudzidziwe izi. Zamugwirizana. Masiku ayandikira. Tikuza.
Ndeti digire a vice president.
Tadikire what?
Koma inu yonso munatikitira.
Ife tadikire manja.
Koma inu yonso ngati Petra munasainira.
Yeah, I think Brian.
Yeah, I'm just asking. I'm just asking. It's a legitimate question.
Yes.
You cannot run away from this question. Mafuna ndifunse kunena kuti a vice president chipani chawo chidasainira mgwirizano. Inu yonso koma ngati Petra muli mugwirizano momwe.
Ife tili momwe ndipo tinagwirizana amene momwe.
Munagwirizana. Ye munagwirizana chani?
Yeah, nzipendana kuti I don't think this is the right
okay.
forum.
What about Honorable Chibambo? Zimene zakhala zikumveka kuti anthu ayamba kale ma endorsements. Auje adzayimira. Inu mugwirizana nazo kapena?
Mukudziwa kuti about 2 to 3 weeks ago tinapanga press briefing yankhani yake yomwe.
Yeah.
Ndipo maganizo athu sanasinthe yayi nena kuti yayi izi zomapanga ma endorsements panopo si bwino komanso njira imeneyi ndi democracy sili bwino tikamba zimenezi panopo amalawi akuvutika moyo yawo kuti apeze zinthu za tsiku ndi tsiku zothandiza moyo wawo zikuvuta. Achinyamata ali likitirikiti kufuna ntchito tikangana mzipatala mumvesa chisoni kwambiri mukusoweka utsogoleri tikaenda misewu yathu yoipa kwa basi yopangisa ngozi sono ife tisathamangire zinthu zakutsogolo chifukwa Malawiwa mmene ankasankha candidate wathu amene ali president watsopano adansankha kuti akayang'ane zovuta zimene akukumana nazo Malawi lero osati tiyang'ane kutsogolo chifukwa nkhani imene ndimene yakhala ikuvuta kwambiri Malawi muno imene ine ndimayitcha kuti the next election syndrome mmalo moti titang'anire ndi zinthu zoti tikwaniritse zokhumba za anthu amene anatisankha basi maganizo athu ali chisankho chamawa cha 3 years later sipezi cha tisiye Amalawi akakusankha munthu ukhalipa mpando amakhala ndi chiyembekezo munthu wosankha ucha chimodzimodzi imene Amalawi anasankha president Chakwera mu June 2020 anasankha ndi chiyembekezo ndipo chiyembekezo ya Malawi sichinakwanitsidwe mpaka pano. That's why we're saying here Sunday tisaipise dzina la president iwa komanso a president asakali diverted ndi nkhani zimeneziya nanga zinaso ni munthu uyu avale 2022 kena kononso mwina maganizo amene aja ngati akoza kuwafikira mwanjira ina akeso koma talole a president apange focus alunjike maso awo pa mavuto amene Amalawi akukumana nawo akatero ndi kuti njira ya mawa yatani yakonzedwa koma tikapanda kukonza zimenezi ndi kuti njira ya mawa yablokedwa so ndimangokumbutsa kuti iya ichonde tatiyenti asamale ya Malawi amene anativotera aja ndipo nkhani imeja sina yopheka 2020 ija kubwera pamodzi zipani 9 kuchosa chipani chili mboma si pafupi yayi komanso tikumbukire kuti chipani chinali mboma chinazakhalanso nawo mgwirizano ndi UDF chipani chinanso chimene chinalamulira Malawi muno zaka 10 kubwera pamodzi sizinali zophweka ngakhale wena lero ali maganizo kuti izi tingatha kupanga pa ife toka tati zimene mukambazi bwanji simnanene nthawi imeneyi
umanena kuti
ena akaunena
kuti
tikoza izimezi tikanawina pa ife toka zimenezi chisankho chimenechi takati kumva tonse Malawi muno
IMCP.
so my point is
No, I want you to answer the
of
question.
course there's some people within the
MCP.
alliance
Okay.
No, but my point is tisatero nkhani imene nthawi inali yovuta nakumana ndi zoopsa kwambiri Malawi muno nakumana ndi myala kuphalombe kuwomba magalimoto kumenya magalimoto anthu ena anavulala kumene kuja kuyenda kusiya zintchito zathu maofesi kuyenda kuchoka Nsanje mpaka Uchitipa timayuza ndalama zathu okay mabusiness athu anapanga safa cholinga kuti zinthu Malawi muno zisinthe monga nene poemba pajuti I'm very happy kuti zinthu Malawi muno zidasintha kuti utsogoleri wa dziko udasintha ndipo iwenso kuzokumbukira Brian chisankho chitachitika chija uzalengeza kuti achakwera wina Malawi munazabwera bata ndithu mwadzidzizi uzoona kuti pachitika ntchito yayikulu kumenema ndipo tisayiwale Malawi kumyamika Yehova kumyamika Yehova chifukwa zimene zija kuti zichitike sikuchenjera kwathu sipo ndife ndimadziwa kulankhula
Alipo ena amene ayiwala
kwambiri alipo
ayiwala kale
kwambiri
tuye zomwe
ena alipo nditi kuwakumbutsa kuti tisayiwale kuyiwala ndi matenda akulu.
mukuonera program ya Times Exclusive ndi olemekezeka Kamuzu Chibambo, president wa Petra, amene chipani chawo chili mbali imodzi ya tonse. Tichite break pang'ono tibweranso posachedwapa.
Wow, I think K-Pitch looks amazing on the door.
The electric blue cassette for me.
Come on, look at the tango, candy pink, burnt orange, okay, sweet lime.
Do you like what you see? You can dream it and live it. Download your Rainbow app today and begin the magic of transforming your home into a fabulous space. Rainbow paints, peace of mind. Part of the deal.
mukuonera program ya Times Exclusive pano pa kanema wa Times. Ndine Brian Banda, ndili ndi olemekezeka bambo Kamuzu Chibambo amene ndi president wa Petra, amene chipani chawo chili mbali ya tonse. Munanena kunena kuti amalawi ankavutika ndipo amalawi they wanted change, and I want to ask that question again. Kunena kuti kodi amalawi pano sakuvutika chifukwa tidavutira inuyo atonse. Mukumva chani makukamu anthu akamalankhula?
Ndisadziwikire kuti amalawi sakusangalala onse.
Amalawi sakusangalala?
So ndi udindo wa utsogoleri kuyang'ana zonse izi zimene amalawi akuzidandaula kuti kodi zimenezi tingathane nazo bwanji, and nditsakhala osangalala kuona kuti zimene mavuto akumanawo amalawi akuyankhidwa bwinobwino. Nditsakhala munthu osangalala kwambiri.
Ena akhoza kumanena kuti muyankhula chonchi chifukwa chonena kuti a president sanaorganizireni. Tinavutika ife mene mwanenera muja magali munthu athu adagendedwa, tidachita kuphalombe mwayankhula zija. Nchifukwa chani sakuganizirani kampando pang'ono boma loti muuseka Kamuzu Chibambo?
Ndiuseka chifukwa funso limene
Akuyiwalani?
chifukwa Brian
Akuyiwalani?
funso limene undipatsa ine
Anzano aganizira.
funso limeneli mwina ukufunsa munthu ola akuyika.
Okay.
Funso limene mwina kufunsa president acha
Chabwino kuti kodi Kamuzu Chibambo adala kwanji chimene simukuaganizira, adavutika nawo, adasonkha nawo mmemo?
Not necessarily. Koma kuti of course a president ali ndi prerogative ndiyawo kuona munthu amene akhoza kugwira naye ntchito pafupi. All right, so izozo ndi prerogative ya president. I cannot say anything about that.
And you're not worried?
I'm not worried.
Okay.
You know, in this life, Brian.
Mukadakhala kuti okay, please.
In this life,
yeah,
what God has designed for you, has purpose for you, nobody can take it away from you.
Yeah, that's right.
So
I agree.
I am fully contented where I am. I am fully contented. The Lord is taking care of me, of my family, and I'm also able to help other people. I'm happy.
You're fully contented.
I'm fully contented. But let me say this without any fear whatsoever. To serve others is a great honor.
Yeah.
It is a great honor to serve others. To serve the Malawian people is a great honor. And the day I'll be given that honor, I'll be very grateful. Because what you do for others is more important than what you do for yourself. Thank you. Yes,
Tsopano mdziko muno muli nkhani ina ndichitinayi kambakali ya Katangale kwa chanso chatsika mphamvu. Chuma chathu chikuyenda bwanji, and what needs to be done? Mukulimva funso?
Yes. First of all, nobody can rejoice at devaluation of their currency. No. Nobody.
Do you think the devaluation of the kwacha is the solution to mavuto amene dziko la Malawi likumana nawo?
I personally, I don't.
You don't think so?
I don't.
Yet you are a member of Tonse.
We have devalued.
Yeah.
Okay. So how has it benefited us? That's the question every Malawian ought to be
You don't
asking.
agree with the issue of devaluation?
I don't like the effects of devaluation.
Okay.
All right? Because it makes life expensive for everybody. Every local person now, individuals, businesses, we are suffering. Prices have gone up. I mean, the Reserve Bank, they try to allay the fears of the people of Malawi. They say, no, we don't think that prices are going to go up. But unfortunately, the Reserve Bank does not own any shop. It doesn't own any market out there. When you go to the local market, it is the ordinary persons that sell their stuff there. So that assurance has been proved wrong by the reality on the ground because prices have already skyrocketed. Okay. So I don't like that suffering that the people of Malawi are experiencing, and I would want, in whatever manner possible, to contribute towards ameliorating the lot of the people of Malawi, to improve their lifestyles and their livelihoods. So, if you ask me the devaluation, I'm not happy. So, and again, let me go to this other part, the second part of the question. I believe that the ultimate answer for this nation is one. We must go back to the drawing table and begin to produce for export. If we cannot produce for export, even if we say we want to make our goods more affordable, which goods? What are you producing? What are you exporting? So, in effect, you find that the devaluation has helped the foreigner. Because the goods now, when they come, they come here cheaply, but the local will pay much more, by 25% more. Tourists, when they come here, the money will blossom. Yesterday, $1 was fetching 825 kwacha. Today, it is fetching 1,000 plus. So he's happy. So the foreigner is happy. The foreign exporter to Malawi is happy. The Malawian is sad. So we must, as a country, even what we started with when we went into multi-party democracy in 1994, the industrial base, what it used to be then and what it is now, a lot has been lost. So we must go back to production, and not just any production.
But why can't you share these tips that you are sharing with your counterparts?
I'm sure that
when
we meet next time, we meet sure, yes. I mean, we have got ideas, Brian, that we believe can help this country move forward. I have studied international trade myself. Okay? I did my master's degree in international trade. All right? I know how these things work. I know for any nation to tick, I know what ought to happen. And I know what we need to do to fix this economy of Malawi. We can do it. It is not something that is beyond us. We can do it. And I want to evoke the spirit of Malawians to say, hey, Malawians, don't fear. We can do it. We can turn this country around. Not in future, in our lifetime also.
zovuta pati inu muli kutonse komweko zovuta pati osagawana badi zerumuni nazozo kutonse komweko.
Airport in zero, you cannot impose your zero on another.
Echabwino
upasidwe mpata kuta tima ideas uli nato kwanje tutatika hapa tiokese pamodzi nkupanga zinthu
ndiye kuti muupempha unduna
Brian, ine sindi upempha chili chonse. Apa kodi munthu kuti upereke my ideas akuti
ndiye ndikunena kuti mumakumana. Yes.
Kodi munthu kuti upereke maganizo kuti ukali nduna? Yoti ino Brian ukakhala ndi a good idea. Sungati kuti bwanji tapanga ndi
ndiye chifukwa chake ndikunena kuti
kodi Brian ufuna unduna?
Chifukwa chake ndikunena kuti mumakumana simukukumana.
Yeah.
So don't you think kuti
sitina kumana entirely?
Simuna kumana entirely. Mukana kuti mukumana sibwezi mumakapereka maganizo amene wakumeneko.
Kwambiri. And as I said, we have got a big task in this country. We must fix it in our lifetime.
Yeah.
We've got our children. We've got future generations. What are we going to leave for them? What are we going to pass on? So we cannot afford to be sleeping here on our laurels thinking all is well. All is not well. And we do well to recognize that fact. We have got a big task to perform in this country. We cannot be at the beck and call of these international financial institutions. For how long? For how long? For how long? Malawi has been on this extended credit facility for decades. How has that assisted us? We've been living on charity for decades. How has that assisted us? It's like you have a family, and I have mine, and I have to look to you to run my family. Ndikagule sugar, Brian, ndikathandizeni mwana wanga apite kusukulu. Brian, thandizeni kuti ndikagule kanjinga. I'm not here by accident. We Malawians are not in this nation by accident. We have got a rich destiny within us. And the onus is on us, Brian, to make sure that this country ticks. I mean, this country, Brian, let me share a few things with you. I would also want to talk about a few austerity measures.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a moment. Yeah.
This country has got a lot of influence, or has had a lot of influence on the continent as well as beyond the continent. I'll give you a few examples. When you look at Zambia, the first president of Zambia, where are his roots? Or where were his roots? Malawi. Talk about Zanzibar. The first president of Zanzibar, Karume. Where did he come from? Malawi. Talk about the man that started the powerful trade union movement in South Africa, Kadali, Lesotho, a Malawian. Talk about the King's African Rifles that fought in the World War. The Malawians excelled. Talk about netball today. Which names are making a big impact out there? In UK, in Australia, find it's a Malawian. Football, find in China, Malawian. Look at this whole list of Malawians in the diaspora, holding high-profile positions. Malawians. We have underrated ourselves for too long. Time has come when we must begin to look at ourselves to say, hey, we can do it. We can turn this nation around. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm fully convinced. There is no shadow of doubt on my mind whatsoever. The economy of Malawi can be turned around. I'm fully convinced. We don't have to be carried on the backs of other international organizations forever. Why? We are so richly endowed as a country. We've got uranium in this country. Now there is copper that has been found in Karonga. There's rutile. We've got 3.7 million hectares of arable land in Malawi. We've got freshwater bodies in Malawi. So all these things.
Unless you tell me you are not part of this government. Because hearing you talk tonight, I'm also confused. Kodahulua. Akwenda remote ndanza wa. Kapena asiana.
Brian,
I am at pains to figure what you are up to.
Yes.
And I believe even our viewers might be confused. I
understand you.
Yeah.
I understand your concern. It's a legitimate concern.
It is, yes.
It is a legitimate concern. As I said.
But it tells me that you are also frustrated.
I cannot impose.
Just as many Malawians.
I cannot impose my views on the president. I cannot impose my views on anybody. All right? All I'm saying is, we are not here by accident.
That's right.
And I'm not here by accident.
Let's quickly talk about austerity measures.
Yes.
You wanted also to talk on the same.
Yes.
Do you think these will save the little money that we have as a government?
I believe it's a good start. But having said that, it's implementation and enforceability of those measures.
Okay.
That is more important.
Where are your concerns? Which one?
Because in this country, we are good at formulating things, formulating initiatives, but when it comes to implementation, to see to it that those measures we have prescribed for ourselves are being adhered to, no, we've done very badly. We don't police ourselves properly. Somehow we think that responsibility, somebody else must come from somewhere and tell us, oh, no, you should be doing, but these are the very measures that we have come up with ourselves. So, I'm saying that is a good start. But in addition, I think there are other things that I believe could help us at this point in time. This other day I went to, maybe about a month ago or so, I went to Capitol Hill. I will not tell you which ministry I went to. I went there at about 9 o'clock.
In the morning?
Yes. I was shocked to see that most of the offices were empty. And I said, what? Are we serious? What I'm talking about? What time do civil servants report for work? Because the taxpayer is paying this person for putting in a minimum of 8 hours. But when you go and see what is happening on the ground, you'll be shocked. So we need to institute measures that ensure civil servants are in the office 7:30 in the morning, and they knock off at the appropriate time, whether it's 4:30 or 5 o'clock. They should be seen to be working, and they ought to work. I mean, here we've got no luxury of time here. We cannot afford to play games, Brian. We are in a dire situation as a country, and we do well to acknowledge that fact. So all of us must plug in, especially those that are working in the government, in MDAs. When you talk about mindset change, it is a good thing, but whose mindset is going to change? It must begin with me. I must myself be the example of the message I'm preaching. All right, so that is number one. Number two, turnaround time. When you have got a project to undertake, a project which ordinarily ought to take 5 months, 1 year, should not be taking 5 years. In this country, we've got that sickness as well. Something that can happen within a day, we want it to go on for 1 week, 2 weeks. Why? So we must change again our approach to business. What must be done today ought not to be postponed to tomorrow. Let's change our way of doing things and say, from now on, it is no longer business as usual. We are changing our culture, and it is starting with me. So that is another austerity measure that I can propagate here. Another one is extra budgetary requests. We have a budget, and then there are some external requests that come outside the budget. And this is what has caused our budget to be derailed. Things that are not budgeted for, okay? They just come impromptu, bang, ad hoc, and they want to be attended to. I hope the Minister of Finance, the Treasury, will put his foot down and say, no more. I would rather lose my job for doing what is right than keep it for doing what is wrong. This is another problem that we have Malawians. They'll tell you, of course I knew that it is wrong to do this, but what could I do? No. Let us be patriotic enough, Brian, to manage our resources responsibly.
Do you think the president, and I know it's a tough one on you, do you think the president is leading by example in as far as austerity measures are concerned? And you promised that you'll be candid with me.
Yes. This question, when you ask, is a personal question. And I think it is only fair that this question should be directed at the president himself.
No, but I'm asking you, watching from sidelines.
No. I think
we have all these austerity measures in place. But people have also said that it starts with the head of state.
Yes.
Is he leading by example?
I think this, okay, let me attempt to respond this, but again, I must admit that I can only touch the surface. I can only bear. I can simply touch the surface because let's accept it that these measures have just been promulgated. Okay. So everybody is watching. Let's see how these measures are going to be adhered to, how they are going to be implemented. So maybe, why don't we wait? Why don't we wait? All of us, let's keep our eyes open. And it's very easy to tell whether everybody is pulling in the same direction or not. So all of us will be witnesses. Thank you, Brian.
We don't have forex in the country, but there are no signs of slowing down in as far as travel is concerned and other engagements. What should we do?
This forex issue, and I think this is what also Brian has maybe lies behind the recent devaluation. I think it was in anticipation that suddenly forex would become readily available. But well, so far the evidence and the signs are not yet there. And of course, I think let me also point out that I thought that IMF was going to look at this situation sympathetically. I mean, we know that even this devaluation was imposed on us. So you impose the devaluation, and then at the same time you say, oh, wait a minute, I cannot help you today. I'll try to look at your situation tomorrow. I feel that IMF there needs, if they could really look at the situation. I mean, they are talking about, one of the concerns is the misreporting that was done by the previous regime. And my question is, why should a new regime and 20 million plus Malawians suffer on account of the sins of the previous administration? So I'm appealing to these institutions to say, I hope they will revisit their stance and try to help this country. But having said that, we need to be more prudent as a country how we use the meager resources we have. You see, I will tell you this. I've been in business since 1995. And in our business, first of all, we're running a law firm jointly. And then subsequently, I established my own firm. And we used to run on overdraft facilities, like most businesses do. Bank loans, ODs, and the like. Then I moved to the business I'm running now.
Your own law firm?
No, I retired as a lawyer.
Okay. What are you doing now?
Well, I run a transport business.
Okay.
So we came to a point where we said, do we continue to run our business on bank loans, ODs, or not? We looked at our situation, and we looked at the pros and cons, and we came to the conclusion. We drew a cutoff point. No more ODs, no more bank loans. It was a tough decision, but I took it. And up to now, that's how we run our business. Because when you get loans, and this, you don't sit to consider the amount of money that you are paying through interest, commissions, arrangement fees, and so it's a lot of money. If you are able to manage your resources properly, you can use all that money to grow your business. Yeah. And sometimes there's this thing that we have, I've done it in the past. You go to a bank and the bank tells you, okay, we can lend you 100 million kwacha against your cash deposit that you have, that we're keeping this cash deposit. We'll keep this cash deposit for you, but you can borrow against it. It's your own money. But you'll be amazed. I made that mistake. We've made that mistake in the past. You find that somehow you get coaxed, hoodwinked into borrowing against your own money. And I said, this is financial madness. why should I borrow when I can use what I already have?
Yeah, it's already in the bank.
Aha.
It's already in the bank.
But you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed. These things that they do happen even today. So, the point I'm making, Brian, is what I'm talking about is something that I have done. So it is possible even in this nation to run this nation without any of these IMF
It's
laws.
possible.
It is possible. It is doable. But we must be very serious.
Yeah.
How we manage our
Unfortunately, we don't have much time. Are you optimistic that the Tonse Alliance will stand?
As to whether this will stand, it cannot just depend upon the views of one person.
Yeah.
It's a grouping of non-political parties.
Yeah.
And that decision can only be made by the majority of this grouping. So I think for me, that question is really beyond me. But
Yeah.
what I want to say is that it was a good thing. It was a beautiful thing. And I'm so happy that we participated in that election, 2020 election,
Are you
as a grouping.
Yeah, yeah. But are you taking the right path?
Okay.
In saving Malawi?
I think I have said, I've already considered
Yeah.
that certain things have gone well,
Yeah.
others we could do better.
Yeah.
And I think if we are honest with ourselves, we'll be able to find the solutions that this nation desperately needs.
I want you to look at our camera there. That's Malawians watching us.
Thank you.
What would you tell them? 2 years after Tonse government has been in power, what would you tell Malawians watching? And that will be our parting shot for tonight.
Thank you, Brian. Fellow Malawians, I'm aware that you are suffering, you are going through tough times, and I'm aware that most of you are fearful as to what the future holds for you. But let me assure you of this one thing. It is possible to turn this nation around. So therefore, what you need to do is, don't fear. Whether IMF gives us money or not, don't fear, because fear will stop you from thinking right. And so I want to encourage you, fellow Malawian, that it is possible for this nation to be turned around, the economy of this country to be turned around, and with the austerity measures that have been put in place now, in addition to any other that may be prescribed, like some of the things that I've alluded here to, I believe that it is possible that will mark the beginning of the turnaround. Let us learn to look after what we have. It is important in life to look after what you have. Don't look at what you don't have. Manage properly your own resources. Even the monies that the Commissioner General of Malawi Revenue Authority talked about, the 60 billion that is lost. I'm appealing to you Malawians at all the entry points, at all the border posts, to say, be patriotic enough. We want that money to save our brothers and sisters in the villages that are suffering. Thank you very much.
Honorable Kamuzu Chibambo, President of Petra. Quite intriguing, I must say, hearing you talk tonight. We wish we had more time. Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure, Brian. Thanks.
On that note, we conclude this week's edition of Times Exclusive. I was honored to host Honorable Kamuzu Chibambo, President of Petra. My name is Brian Banda. Until next week, thanking you for joining us, and goodbye from Blantyre.